spinal flexion, and some hip stuff. Now we love to open up the hips. And I'd like to give us a nice good Shavasana today, because I feel like we kind of cut close on that most weeks. So I'm going to try to pad that in at the end. So while we get started, your feet about shoulder width distance apart. It feels good, rock toe to heel a few times. Maybe blink your eyes closed and just feel the connection. Spread all 10 toes wide and begin to settle into stillness. Bring your attention to your shoulders and begin to roll them up towards your ears. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, roll those shoulders open and back and let them soften in their place. Open your hands and face your palms forward. And if they're not yet, I invite you to blink your eyes closed. Set intention for your practice. I like to offer the intention of feeling grounded or rooted into your practice. If the visualization helps you at all, let that be a reminder, bringing back to your breath, back to your intention, as we travel with our breath movement for the next few moments. Filling up the belly and chest, take a full breath in. Open mouth, let it go. You can keep your eyes closed if you want, or blink your eyes open as you sweep your hands up overhead. Breathe in nice and tall. And as you exhale, hinge at your hips, find a little bend in your knees, and forward fold. We've got those yoga blocks nearby. If you'd like them to bring the earth a little bit higher, that's always a great option. But I do want you to feel a big bend in those knees. Hamstrings are still warming up. And then if it feels good, tuck your chin towards your chest to release the hold on the back line of your neck. And give a little shake no. A little nod, yes. Stay here for a breath in. And a breath out. Slowly rise to a halfway lift. Bring your hands to the tops of your thighs. Lengthen through the spine, almost as if you've got a glass of water on your back. Deep breath in. Exhale back to your forward fold. Slow inhale brings you all the way to standing. Take your time. Arms will rise up overhead. And exhale, hands to your heart space. So move through that a few times. Breath movement. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, hands high, mountain pose. Exhale, your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deep fold. Rise to standing. Breathe in, breathe it up. This time as you exhale, find a back bend that works for you. Maybe you cactus your arms. Maybe place your hands in your back pockets. And then reach your spine back. Nice deep breath in, raises the chest, opens the chest. And stay for your breath out. Inhale, take your arms up overhead. Exhale to your forward fold. Beautiful. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to the sky, hands up high. Interlace your fingers. Leave your pointer fingers up. Breathe in, stretch high. And exhale, bend to your right. It's a nice gentle side body stretch. You don't have to go too far. Just feel it. Inhale, raise your hands up overhead. Exhale to your left. Inhale, rise up, keep your hands as they are, and a tiny back bend back. Maybe it doesn't go quite as far as the last one. Maybe look up. Exhale, bend the elbows, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Come on down to all fours. Working our way into tabletop. As you get into your tabletop, it might feel good to roll out through your ankles, roll out through your wrists before we get started. And then plant your wrists underneath your shoulders. Stack your knees underneath your hips. Find a nice long spine. Breathe out all your air. And as you inhale, look forward. Drop your belly. Tip your tailbone, almost like making your spine. And as you exhale, slowly coil the chin towards the chest, belly button towards the spine, and tuck your hips under. Really push your hands into your mat. Breathe it all the way out. Inhale, slow transition back to your cat. And move at your own pace here. Exhale, exhale on that. This is your cat with the arch back. Exhale to your cat. And inhale to your cat. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cat. And you can continue this if you'd like, but I did promise some hip openers, so if you'd like to travel into gate pose, start with your right leg out. So my left, just so you all can see, straight out from your hip joint. And then we're going to just continue. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Do about 3 on each side if this feels good for you. And then go ahead and switch out legs. Your pace, your breath. Right here, being mindful of your wrists. Try to put your weight into all 10 fingertips rather than all into your palms. To finish your variation of your cat cows, I invite you to a child's pose for a beat. Bring your knees out wide to your mat. Your bolster can go under the belly if you'd like. If you'd like to sit your hips back to your heels, walk your hands out towards the top of your mat. Find a few breaths here. And we did do some side bends when we were standing, so if you're craving a little bit more of those, go ahead and take your fingers, walk them off the right side of your mat. Keep your lower body the same. Breathe into where you feel this. If you're off to the right, slowly come to your center. Walking off the left side. Pause and breathe. Once you feel balanced, left to right, go ahead and come back to the middle for 2 breaths. Then go ahead and rise up onto all fours. We're going to come all the way flat onto our belly. Small little spine strengthener here today. Coming onto your stomach. It's called Cobra. We're going to take your hands and place them palm side down around underneath your shoulders. It's not going to look the same for everybody. And we're going to flip to the tops of your feet. And then you're not going to see much movement, but I want you to push the tops of your feet into the ground. This is going to engage the front line of your legs here. Already you're working some muscles in the body. Now go ahead and press your hands into the ground. And slowly lift the chest and shoulders. Focusing on the back line of the body, muscles along the spine here. Not necessarily squeezing in your glutes, but right here along through the spine. Hands can stay on the ground and maybe just a gentle hover. Keep your feet pressed into the mat. Find your breath. And exhale, let it all go, left cheek to the mat. We'll do one more practice of that, and then again, we'll get to our flow with our breath to movement. When you're ready, start by pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. Engage your fingertips in your hands, and then you keep your gaze low. Lengthen, strengthen through the spine, maybe lift and hover hands and elbows. Find your breath. Exhale, right cheek to the mat. Pause for a moment. When you're ready, curl your toes under, place your hands under your shoulders. We're going to press up and back to a tabletop. Quick disclaimer, we are going to transition into downward dog, but tabletop is always a great place to go if your wrists or any other part of your body is having a little bit too much with that gravity part. So when you're ready, we're going to take the hands, walk and palm print up, keeping the toes tucked, keeping the knees bent. Let's come to our downward facing dog. And then for me, it feels really good to walk my dog or pedal out through my feet in my first down dog of the day. So I invite that if that feels good for you, as slowly as you need to. And then I'm a little bit of a stickler with alignment, so we're just going to check in real quick. Take your gaze up towards your fingers. Make sure they're spread nice and wide. And then a little bit of a reminder, press through all 10 fingertips rather than the wrists. Strong shoulders here. Strong core, engage the belly. Shine your tailbone high. Again, just for starters, let's keep a little bend in the knees. And then see if you can sink your heels a little bit lower. Awesome. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Now let's walk our toes so they touch. Bring your weight into your left foot. And slowly raise the right one to the sky. If you'd like to, you can bend the right knee towards your glutes. Find some circles with that right leg. And maybe reverse those circles. Right leg sweeps high. And then go ahead and let it rest down to your downward facing dog. Right side of all 10 toes. And sink the heels low. Inhale, left leg up. Maybe you bend that knee. Maybe you find some circular motions here. Woo. I know, shoulders are probably on fire. You can drop to your knees.
You're like cramped. Like, oh no.
And once you feel balanced again, left leg high. And then back down to your down dog. Take a breath in. And let's come onto all fours for just a second in our down dog. Sit your hips back to your heels. Let's do a little shoulder opening. Pause and we'll come back to that flow. Inhale, stick your hands up high overhead. Exhale, right hand to the ground. Left arm up and over. Nice. Really feel that side body bend all through the left. Maybe today it feels good to look up to the sky. This might bring a little bit of a neck stretch. Or maybe you try looking down at the ground. Breathe out. Inhale, both arms to the sky. Left arm down. Breathe out. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, back stroke the right arm back. Left arm back, stroke it back. And just wherever it falls, we're just opening up through the chest here. Long, tall spine. Maybe you tip your chin up to the sky. Maybe that doesn't feel good and you keep the chin tucked. But find, almost as if you have a magnet in your chest. Find a little bit of lift here. Good. Next breath in, really fill into the chest. And a full exhale. Slowly and mindfully, take your chin towards your chest. And slowly we're going to curl forward one vertebrae at a time. Belly's going to come towards the thighs. Kind of like a child's pose here. Just a simple rest before we get back to the flow. Maybe forehead meets the mat or a yoga block or the bolster. Now is a great time to recommit to your intention. Check back in with your breath. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Go ahead and rebuild back to all fours. When and if you're ready for it, we're going to come to downward facing dog and flow this breath to movement. As you exhale into your downward facing dog, be mindful of the joints and your alignment. Inhale, right leg to the sky. And using the strength of your core and maybe a couple steps in between, we're going to take the right foot and bring it up in between the hands here. Again, know that the back knee on the ground is always a great option. And we're going to find these yoga blocks that you've got nearby. And we're just going to explore a little bit in this shape. You might feel it a little bit more in this hip flexor this afternoon. You maybe feel it a little bit more in the right hamstring today. You want to stay hinged forward, that's awesome. You can also explore coming back. Couple more breaths here. Right, set those blocks aside. We're going to switch out the legs real quick. Tuck the left toes under if they're not already. Big sweep back. Right leg comes up to the sky. And right leg down to the ground. Left foot comes up. Left foot comes forward. Nice and safe into this variation. Maybe it feels a little different on this side. That's okay. Remember that nice full breath. Notice where you feel this in your body. And maybe take just a few more moments. Open the stretch. Before you move. Once you feel balanced, left to right, go ahead and set those blocks to the side. Tuck the right toes under. Big sweep of the left leg. And left leg down to the mat. Inhale, look forward at the top of your mat. And then take some baby steps, come all the way to your forward fold at the top of your mat. You can keep the bend in your knees if you'd like. We're warming up a little bit. If you'd like to start straightening that, see how that feels. Maybe you come a little bit out of that bend, though. Blocks are always there for an option. Inhale, find your halfway lift, your long straight spine. Exhale, one more time back to that fold. Inhale, brings you all the way to standing. Come nice and slow. Arms rise overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to all. Step back to tabletop, Lower to your belly. Nice and slow, breathing out. Placing the elbow or the hands underneath the shoulders, looking to the tops of the feet. Breathe out. Inhale, spine strengthener just for a breath. Press your feet down. Maybe lift the hands, maybe lift the shoulders. Exhale, lower back down. Tuck your toes under. Press yourself up to all fours once more. And exhale to your downward facing dog. Great job. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, right leg comes forward to your lunge. Pause here for a moment. I think I want to take off, sorry.
The most challenging yoga.
No. Yeah, no, I want to flow a little bit more. Let's just go ahead, keep the hands there, and then let's sweep that right leg up and back again. I just want to flow us with some movements. Right leg comes down, left leg this time, inhale, left leg high. Exhale, bring it forward. Pause here in that front stretch. This is what we'll do on the other side. Nice work. This one might be getting that heart rate up a little bit more than normal. Let's go ahead and sweep that left leg up and high. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk to your hands forward fold. We'll do the standing Sunday one more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to all fours, tabletop. Again, come down to the belly, nice and slow to our cobra. Hands under the shoulders, tops of the feet on the mat, send your breath up. Inhale, press your feet into the mat, lift the upper body. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes and press yourself back to all fours. I know what we're doing now. Come up to your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. And we're coming to half pigeon. So I'll give a couple variations here. If you'd like to, bring your right knee toward your right wrist. Block can come back between your right glute if that feels more comfortable. Bolster can be up here. These props are to make it a little bit more easier. Maybe a little more on the outer side of your glute there. Kind of for some balance. It's just for some extra help. If this one isn't feeling too good in your body, don't you fret. I've got another option. Coming onto your seat, you just come to a reclined figure four. You could be seated, or you can come all the way onto your back. That feels a little bit better. Starting with the right knee on top, but doesn't matter. We'll get to both sides. You are in your reclined or seated figure four. Go ahead and slowly switch out sides. You're on your mat. Slowly rebuild. Bring your hands back to the mat. Tuck your left toes under. We're going to swing the right foot to the sky one more time. Three-legged dog. Roll out through the ankle, maybe the knee or the wrist. Or hip. Try your wrist if you want. Just up the legs. Right leg high. And go ahead to your down dog. And let's balance it out. Left leg comes high. And then left knee comes towards the left wrist. Settling into your variation. And maybe you use those blocks, bolsters, all that to make it a little bit more comfortable. These last final postures, I want you to see if there's anything else you can let go. Whether that be some muscle, something physical, maybe a limiting belief in your mind, maybe a different version of you in the past. Honor who you are right now today. What's something you can do to make it a little bit easier in this moment, a little bit kinder, a little bit softer. Let's read down here. If you are in that supine figure 4, go ahead and just find your Shavasana. Those of us on the mat, plant your hands. Left foot is going to sweep up to the sky. Again, roll out any of those joints you'd like to. Come to your downward facing dog. Slowly bring knees to the mat. And then we're going to barrel roll onto our backs. I'd like to give a couple of options with the bolster for Shavasana. As promised at the beginning of class, we've got a solid 5 minutes of it, so we're going to enjoy it. I like to do a supported fish, bringing the bolster along the base of my spine. Just lay it on back, it opens up to the chest and shoulders. But you can do whatever you want. If you just want to lay flat on the ground, you want to place the bolster under your knees. Go ahead and get comfy. We've got a few minutes. As we settle into this place of stillness, you know that some people say this is arguably one of the most difficult parts of the yoga practice. It's not necessarily the postures, the breathing, the words. It's doing nothing. Because as humans, we're supposed to do things, right? So it's a little bit more challenging when you come to a time where there's actually nothing you have to do. You just simply have to be. The work is done. You've checked yoga off the list. And now you just get to relax. Let's breathe in and out together for just a few moments. Continuing to build that connection with ourselves and with each other. Don't let your mind wanders. Give it something to focus on, perhaps your breath. And down. Continue with a nice gentle breath. If you are on a yoga bolster, slowly and mindfully make your way off to one side. And as slowly as you need to, join in in a nice tall seat. And as you come to your seat, again, your eyes lay closed as comfortable to you, minimizing distraction. I invite you to Sit up nice and tall, lengthening through the spine, giving more space for the lungs and belly to receive the next breath in. And through your nose, breathe in nice and big. And out through the mouth. Inhale, raise your hands up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart space. Left hand over your heart, right hand over the left. Feel the beat for a few moments. And be peace in the mind, strength in the body, and love in the heart. Namaste. There's nothing.
Same. Swear. And I like.
Thank you all.